Hey guys, Frank White here, your virtual general aviation aviator. And today I am going to make a flight from Raleigh-Durham to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, this is a a route that I've driven many a times, and it usually takes me about 6 hours if I'm driving straight through. 6 to 7 hours if I'm driving straight through, or more realistically, since I like the mountains and I like to just do my mountain seeing, it can take me substantially longer. But in this case, I am going to fly, and I am going to fly the TMB. So I can get a picture of the get outside the aircraft so we can take a look. I am going to fly the TMB 900. It's a really sweet flying aircraft. I hope you can hear me with all the airport noises in the background. Um, but yeah, I like the paint scheme on this particular model. It's one that I think will definitely turn heads. I just recently had it washed, and I am getting ready to go. So I do see my fuel caps are off, um, and um, and I still got my protection covers on. But since we're gonna run a checklist, then all that stuff will get taken care of during the checklist process. So let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit next. And let's pull that down so it doesn't get locked up under this. Sometimes I had the top of it get up under here, and the only way you can move it is to grab it from the top, and that sucks. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Let's use the this one here because it is how shall I say it is what word am I looking for? Translucent. Okay, maintenance manager use. Okay, let's go ahead and use the maintenance manager. Make sure that we don't have anything going on with our aircraft. Landing gear is in the green. Electronics is in the green. Avionics, everything is in the green. Lights are all in the green, and airframe shows no damage. Oxygen, we will be making use of oxygen, and everything is as new. And just double check the engine, and I don't see any issues. Okay, so let's go ahead and close the maintenance manager, and that's been used. And open our doors. This is not going to be an FSE flight, so I am going to have to check my gas manually. Okay, so open our doors. You can do that in the payload manager, um, and we'll go ahead and power everybody in. Okay, so I think we're going to carry 85 pounds of Ford cargo. I'm the pilot, and 168 pounds is about right for me. Um, yeah, it's about right. Co-pilot, 146 pounds, and so I'm carrying six people. Um, and row one, pretty big guy. Let's make him 210. Um, whoops. And then his wife, 135. Um, and um, her sister, 157, and women do not like giving weights, but in order to fly, um, here they do have to disclose that. And then her daughter, um, and let's make her daughter around 125, 120. Okay, um, so some really attractive women on the aircraft today. Hey, Tuffo. Hey there. New to the stream and flight sims. What do you mean profitable routes? Okay, actually I meant to change that, and I'm glad you mentioned that. That was from a different stream. Profitable routes was from a video I did I think a couple of days ago when I was flying in a program called FSE Economy, which is one that you can actually earn virtual money that you can save up to buy virtual aircraft to fly in virtual airlines, if that makes any sense. And if it does not, then keep coming, just keep hanging around, and it will eventually. Now, I wonder if I can change that without ending the stream. Things, Cloudbox, actually, I don't know how to. Um, but after I finish the stream, then I know I can rename the the title. I had renamed it and clicked. Hey, Dimitri, how are you? I had renamed it and clicked off of it, and um, and then clicked back on it again, and apparently, well, I had renamed it, clicked off of it, did some work, and then when I went back in it, I thought it had changed. I am good, thank you. Long time no talk to. I hope you are. Okay, so I need to remove all my covers. So I'm gonna remove those guys. Remove this, the wicks, and the static ports. I'm going to been busy. I can imagine. I haven't been on the stream as much as I usually am. So I'm thinking that I had been missing you. I'm missing your streams. Okay, so let's close my door, and then that would quieten things down a little bit. And let's hop in the aircraft. But that's good. That have you been busy working or just with life in general? Okay, so did I remove the chucks? Okay, I still got the chucks installed. Okay, they are removed. And open both tank caps. Now I can do that here. And I do need to add gas for this flight. And I got a big fuel imbalance. So I'm gonna go with 90 with the load that I got. I'm gonna go with 90 gallons. Yeah, haven't streamed for a while. Plan on that today. Okay, cool. Working in real life. Awesome. Awesome. Working and life. Yeah, I've been um, fairly slow recently. Been bidding on a few jobs, but nothing's been coming through. Um, so I've had time to do some computer stuff that I've been meaning to get around to. Okay, so my fuel caps are tight now, and I'm looking good. All right, so I've got the Pilatus. I got the TBM that that I'm not really good at flying because I hadn't been flying it, but I decided today is a good day to take it for a flight. Okay, so close both cap tanks and load the aircraft, connect the GPU. All right. And you guys yeah, this is the 900. Um, Looks like the TBM 800. Um, the TBM 800, 850, I believe it has four props, and the 900 has five. I believe that's the case. Um, so, yeah, I'm going through the checklist now. Okay, overhead panel, and all switches and levers should be down. So let's do a quick check. Um, these planes, some planes, TOEFL will come with X-plane. Have you got an X-plane yet at all? If you have, then you'll notice that they will start you off with a few X-plane in the virtual hangar, uh, a few planes in the virtual hangar, like the Cessna 152. I think there's a 78, a 737 jet, a King Air. It's probably about 10, 12 planes, and those are free. Those come with the game. Now, now, in addition to that, you can buy what's called payware or get what's called freeware, um, which are planes that people design and make available either free or for money. The TMB 900, the one that I'm flying now, is one of the ones that they made available for money. So I actually had to pay for this plane. But with that said, there are a ton of aircraft that you can add to X-Plane absolutely free. Um, so, but I would recommend that you start with the aircraft that come free with X-Plane, because those free planes are actually really good planes. Okay, so all switches and levers are down. Check. And I hope I won't too wordy on my answer, but I try to give you a thorough answer. The hottest. What is the hottest? I don't know what hottest is. Do you use a hottest? Um, I'm not sure what you're asking. Ignition switch goes to auto. Check. And ETL is armed and off. Passenger oxygen pallet and oxygen mask needs to be turned. Um, Switches needs to be turned off. Okay. And depress four brakes. And oh, okay, you're referring to the yoke. Yeah, I use the honeycomb yoke, um, or the alpha yoke by honeycomb. Um, so let's see if I can show you my yoke. I don't I don't actually see what I'm filming here, but this is what I use. And probably should have moved that anyway because I noticed it been pointing too far down. Okay, so I don't know if you were able to see that, but but that's something that I actually purchased in addition to the air that I purchased and added on later. Um, they the more you fly, the more immersive you tend to want X-plane to be, and the more, to me, the more I can make it realistic, then the more immersive it tend to be. In fact, let's see if I can't do this real quickly. I've got a video up on YouTube that shows exactly what I'm using right now, and I'm actually trying to find that video. Okay, history. I'm in my YouTube browser, and I have to figure out what I can click on to get to my channel. Um, let's see. So I click that thing there. YouTube, switch accounts, your channel. There you go. And and if I can find that video, I just put a quick link to it. Playlist, aviation, and I don't want it. Shucks, I don't want to play. I just want to get a list of videos, and I think it's called My Desktop Setup. There it is. Okay, so I get this guy and click on it, and let's see, and pause that. Now let's see. I know I'm wasting a lot of time doing this, but just bear with me. Uh, let's see, and I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I've got the video up, and I'm trying to find the share button. There it is, share and copy. All right, found it. All right, so yeah, and let me just paste the URL here, and there you go. So if you want to see what I'm using, then you can click on that link or bookmark it for later, your choice, and it will show you. All right, so this translucent um, this translucent checklist gets hard to see. Okay, depress toe brakes before parking brake. So basically what it want me to do is set the parking brake here. All right, so I guess I can do that. All right, so I need to get rid of that guy right there, and you'll see that my toe brakes go in, and then I have to hold it, and then my parking brakes are set. Okay, and if it checks stuff off automatically, then that means that everything is done, but I am still going to run through it. Landing lever gear is down. Throttle lever is in the cut off position, which would be this guy here. Manual override is off. Fuel tank selector is on left tank. And flaps apparently are not up. So let's go ahead and set those up. There we go. Um, okay, AC switch is off. Bleeds are off. Alternative air is pushed, and emergency air is pushed. Um, e, 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 ESS bus tie switch, which is right here, is okay. And all circuit breakers are in. Incidentally, on this aircraft, you're welcome, every circuit breaker is mapped. So, this would make a good plane to practice some failures in because you can kill systems with the circuit breaker. Okay, and you're feeling hot, and I guess I can open the door, and that GPU is kind of noisy. Hopefully, it's not so noisy that you can't hear me, but I get through this pretty quickly. Now, this message should go away in a minute now that I got the door open. Okay, crash lever comes up. Source selector goes to GPU, and main selector comes on. Interior lights can be adjusted. It's daytime, so I really don't need them. Um, and check passenger, check the CAS messages. Okay, so I'm using my own checklist, so I don't need the aircraft checklist. So I know I got the door cast, and I should have part brake, fuel pressure, and oil pressure. Check, check. GPU door, check. Auto select, check, and vacuum low. So everything is where it should be. Battery is okay. I need to cancel the master caution. Okay. And ATC. So I need to get down here and file my flight plan. Um, and what I want to do is get it in the flight computer. Now, I am not used to this flight computer. I'm more used to the G530. But the first thing I know I need to do is get rid of this plan. Um, so as you can see, I'm clicking on stuff that's not doing what I thought it would do. All right, so flight plan. I want to clear this one, um, but I want to clear the entire plan. So I need to hit menu. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And delete flight plan and then enter. All right, and now we're starting to cook with gas. Okay, first waypoint is Liberty, LIB, and enter, not LIBA, backspace, LIB, backspace, enter. Southeast, yep, okay. I am on VATSIM. Yeah, I am on VATSIM. I did file a flight plan. However, let's see. Let me kill this message. Okay, so my frame, this aircraft uses a lot of frame, and I'm averaging about 21. But if I fall down below 20, it's going to kick me off of VATSIM. And then I would have to reconnect. But yep, I am on VATSIM. Okay. Um, oh, okay, cool. You see me. All right. And so I got Liberty in. I only got three um, waypoints plus the final destination. So this shouldn't take too long. Okay, so enter. And then Barrett's Mountain, which is BZM, Zillow, Mike. And there we go, Barrett's Mountain, and then enter. and then Sugar Sugarloaf Mountain. What a name. Sugarloaf Mountain. That's right outside of Asheville. And then finally, my destination, which is Kilo Charlie Hotel Alpha or Chattanooga, Kilo Charlie Hotel Alpha, Chattanooga. Yep, that's it. Okay, enter. And those are my waypoints. Okay, so I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit. I'm just gonna hit flight plan again. Okay, yeah, that looks like it's gonna work. Oh, cool. So you're going to the Bahamas today? Awesome. We're going in different directions. Huh. Okay, so I got a fuel imbalance. Well, that's odd because I loaded fuel manually, I thought, and the aircraft is not running. So let me, since I can, and I'm on the ground, I thought I loaded it manually, but let me add a little fuel here to this tank. Call the fuel truck back. Okay. And that should take care of my fuel imbalance. And yeah, so let's see, check. Okay, file ATC plan, check, and then check landing and gear panel. Check down and light push button. Check down, check down and light push button. What does that mean? Um, go go to overhead and check down and light push button. You're gonna stop in Daytona? How you gonna do that? Uh, Augusta, Georgia, to the Bahamas, and Daytona is in Illinois. How you gonna do that? That's gonna be a little out of the way. Um, maybe Florida. Okay, okay, Florida. Uh, uh, duh. Yeah, there you go. Now I understand. You gonna gas up there? That's a long flight. You know, when you said the Bahamas um, and Augusta, I was thinking rather than southeast, I was thinking more due east. And there's a set of islands out there that are called Bermuda. For some reason, I was thinking Bermuda. But yeah, 5 hours. You know, I had originally planned to fly to um, Memphis, but Memphis was 3 hours, and I just can't do a 3 hour flight. I just can't do it. Not unless I just turn my autopilot on and just come and check from time to time. But that's not normally the way I fly. Okay, so landing. Oh, okay. Check down. This is what they want me to do. Check down this button here. Okay, so I'm pushing it. That's test, and then the test, light test. Okay, that's what they wanted me to do. Okay, de-ice panel, push, test this. Looks like it's working as expected. Okay, throttle is cut off. And if engine is too hot, then this apply, but my ITT is just 30, so it's not too hot. Okay, and in the US, we don't have to request engine starts. Okay, so let's turn the strobe lights on. Strobe lights come on, and pre-start throttle. Okay, strobe ignition switch, um, and then gas pump. Okay, so a lot's going to happen when I hit this ignition switch, and it's going to go to the next page. But I've started this aircraft before, so so basically, what I want to do is just to do a start briefing. I'm going to watch my ITT, and when it gets above 13%, then I'm going to come down here and swing this up to low idle. That's going to introduce gas, and then I'm going to keep an eye on my NG, and when it get over 52%, then I'm going to take this guy and go to flight idle, and if my ITT doesn't um, go above, go into the yellow and hang, or my NG doesn't go over, then I got a good start. If my NG goes over, I got a hung start, and if my ITT goes over, I got a hot start. And as you can see, I got somebody just taking off there. So at this point, I'm going to close the door again, get rid of some noise, and shut it. Okay, so you guys know what to expect, and ignition start, and I gotta hold it for 2 seconds. 1001, 1002, fuel pump comes on, and my NG is above 12%, so I can get me some low idle here. You'll see it in the lower right hand corner, and my NG is coming up. I need that to get to 50% within 20 seconds. And I didn't time it, but I'm good. And I go to flight idle. My ITT is looking good. It should come up, and then it should go back down. NG looks good. Prop is coming up, and it'll go down. Okay, I didn't start the timer, but I talked about that. Switch 2 seconds. We did that within 20 seconds. Um, 13%, yep. And then high idle, that's done. Flight idle. So everything was done. Otherwise, it wouldn't have switched. Okay, so now I need to turn my source. I need to turn the GPU off and turn the battery on. Now I can disconnect the GPU, have them guys take that away. Okay, that's done. Um, and throttle is on flight idle. Engine parameters, may check my oils. Um, the oil pressure look good. Everything is in the green. Electrical is in the green, and volts are in the green. All right, and auxiliary fuel pump goes to auto. Okay, so auxiliary fuel goes to auto. Auto selector goes to auto. AP trims come on, and pilot oxygen comes on, passenger oxygen comes on. All right, initial separator comes on, initial inertia. Um, and air conditioner environmental controls can go to auto. Now this is where this aircraft differ from the Pilatus a little bit, because with the Pilatus, make a little adjustment here. With the Pilatus, I can turn the air conditioner on manual, but then I have to turn the environmental controls off to take off, and then once I'm in my climb, I can turn it. I can turn the air conditioning systems back on. But the Pilatus, in all fairness, even though these two aircraft have pretty much the same engine, the Pilatus is a little bigger, so I guess it requires a little bit more power, a little less systems competing for the power. Okay, radar soft key mode. I've already hit that. Um, yeah, because it was, yeah, I hit that when I first started up. Okay. And um, electrical and fuel network um, check. Okay, so I can click this check button. First, let's get out of the check. Let's get out of here. And then go to system and electrical. And that looks good in the green. I don't see any red pass. So everything is looking good. Fuel. So fuel is draining. I've got 87 gallons. I've and I got 94 in my right tank. I'm on my right tank, so I should be draining from that right now. Okay, G1000 heading bug. Okay, so I'm at RDU. I need to get my ADAS so I know which runway we're going to use. Let's see. So 123.8 is the frequency. It's already in, so I just need to go to COM2. And I don't hear it. And I think that's because I got the X plane, the X pilot program enabled. So if I disable that and then re-enable it, that usually will fix the default ADAS.
Raleigh-Durham
Yep,
INTL information golf.
golf.
2000 Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 11. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 25,000 broken. Temperature 17. Dew point -1. Altimeter 3015. Arriving runways 23 right. 23 left. 14. Departing runways 23 right. 23 left. 14. Advise on initial contact you have golf.
I got golf. So winds are 220 at 11, and we're using 23. Altimeter is, let's see, so we're using 23, so I can set that heading book to 23. And this is a step that I tend not to take. Um, and the altimeter is 3015. 15. And it's I thought I could do this in 30 minutes, and it's been 45 minutes. I'm sitting on the ground going through my checklist. 3015 transponder goes to standby, and in a code. This I did file for an IFR flight plan, so I am going to enter a code, and we'll use hit the wrong button, 3310102. Yeah, okay, 3302 is my squawk code for this IFR flight. And let's see, okay, yeah, get rid of that. And G1000 parameters configured. As far as I know, they are configured, so I don't know what to do with that. So I'm going to check it off and keep moving. And flap destination set altitude. Um, I've encountered this before, and I just haven't taken the time to figure out what it is that they want me to do with this flap destination set altitude. So I'm just going to check that off. And I can actually request taxi now. And I'm going to use the call signs that are in front of me. Okay, so let's do it. Um, and I'm not going to do clearance delivery, but I do need to go to Raleigh ground, which is point 0.9, either point 0.7. Um, Raleigh ground is 121.7. Okay, so comes 121.7. I got 0.75, so I can flip that in, and then tower is 119.3. So as you can see, it's a lot to do on the ground just to get airborne. I do have my passengers loaded, got my gas in, and I'm getting a little low on my. Actually, I'm gonna force the system to draw on my right tank. Okay, so that flipped it to my right tank because I got a little bit more gas in my right than I have my left. And taxi lights can come on. Transponder can go to on. And let's call for taxi. Raleigh ground, TMB 4945 Foxtrot is at Landmark Aviation. We're ready to taxi. We got golf, and we will be departing to the east. Taxi to 23 right, TMB 4945 Foxtrot. Okay, that's a hard number for me to say for some reason. 4945. All right, so they told me to taxi to 23 right. Now I'm on the right side of the airport, which is why they gave me 23 right. And I basically know where 23 right is at. So let's see. This is what I want. And go here. All right. So 2-3 right is going to be, how did that happen? Okay. Sky vector. All right. 2-3 right. And I want the airport diagram. So I am right here at terminal. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm right here. I am right up in here, and 2-3 right is over here. I made an error. They want I should be taking 2-3 left because I'm on the right side of the airport, and 2-3 left is what I want. So I'm glad we figured that out before I started taxiing. Correction, taxi 2-3 left, TMB 4945 Foxtrot. All right, and I can get rid of this guy here. Where's my my map? Turn my map on. I don't need terrain. Turn traffic on. All right, so hit my toe brakes. Okay, I got a check to do. And go in the taxi range, which is also known as beta range. That way the aircraft won't taxi um, at 1,000 miles per hour. Hit the toe brakes, turn that guy up, and check for moving. Check my left brake, my right brake, my nose steering, and I can't check my nose steering with my yoke. Okay, and turn indicator, HSI. All right, and go to holding point and set parking brake. Clear to the left and clear to the right. I've talked with Traffic Global, and they are in the process of they're still working on the animation for GA traffic. So GA traffic is coming to uh, what the heck? That was a big dip in the mesh. Let's look at that. Uh, let's look at that and see what happened there. Okay, so let's get outside the aircraft and that was me. That's me doing my checks. And there's a little hump right here. I think I hit. Nope, that's not it. Maybe it's the next one. I want to see what happened. I hit something. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's what happened. Boy, that that wasn't cool, was it? I need to complain. They need to fix the airport. All right, so I'm still in beta range and taxi into runway 23, which is literally just in front of us. Go to holding point and set brakes. So we can do that. And just slide this guy out of my way. And all right. And get here. And this is the whole short line here. Okay. And set brakes. All right. And that's done. All right. And then run up. All right. Flight idle. Okay. So let's make sure this guy is on flight idle. There's flight idle. Check. Um, P-tot install and P-tot install heater comes on. Throttle high idle. Okay. High idle and then low idle and then high idle. You know, it won't stay on high idle by itself. It goes to where it want to go. Okay. RPM raised to 1100. Okay, so it's done. And check the NG. Okay, and it's well, let me come back down to 1100 and the NG should go to 68%. Yep. All right. So everything work or pressure is good. ITT is good. Or temp is good. Battery charge is good. Cast messages are as expected. All my de-icing switches are let's see, tests. Let's see, test amp consumption. Okay, so I should pop them on, and I should notice a change in my amps. Okay, so and I know it happens when I turn that one on. Say my amps changed over here, and windshield. Yep. Okay, and then I can pull those off. That lets me know that my de-icing systems are working as expected. Generator, turn it off and back on. Um, okay, generator goes off, and look at my amps, and my amps are -27. And it's need to drop to about -25. Okay, and then it can come back on. A lot of work here. All right, and then with it back on, my amps go to +27. Okay, generator and cast message. Okay, I didn't look at the cast message, but I did hear the cast alarm. And then flaps come four down, and they should come down here. And this plane's flaps are slow. Okay, then they go back up. and then raise them. And engine parameters, everything is still in the green. All right. And GPS, all breakers are in. Okay. Flight controls are free and correct. And flaps go to takeoff. Landing light comes on. De-ice as required. It's pretty outside today. Elevator trims, let's check those. This right here is a little out of range, so I need to bring that up, get that in the range. Okay, elevator trims are good. Rudder trims, look, rudder trims are outside of my parameters. Um, and funny thing, I don't know how to change the rudder trim on this aircraft. Does anyone know how to do it? Okay. Let's see. Let's try this guy here, see if that works. Let's go back, and it needs to go to the left. Okay, that's that trim at the bottom, which is fine, but it's the one at the top that I'm looking to adjust. Um, Shoot. Don't see. I don't see a way to, because I've never really had to play with that guy. Um, huh. Always something. Always something new that you get into when you're getting checked out in a new aircraft. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to spend any time looking for. Let me just look over on the other side here. And don't see. I don't know what this button does. I really don't. So anyway, I'm at. I can anticipate that on takeoff, I'm gonna go directly into a slip. Okay, rudder trim in middle. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cast message as expected. Fine. Okay. ATC request taxi. All right. Let's go to. Let's flip this over to tower. Raleigh Tower. TMB 4945 Foxtrot is at runway 24, ready to depart. 24 left, that is, ready to depart. Clear for takeoff, runway 24 left, 45 Foxtrot. All right, so we got our takeoff clearance, and this guy has to come back into taxi range, okay, also known as beta, and turn my brakes off, get in my pilot seat here, get my seat adjusted, and did I release the brakes? I thought I did. Okay, brakes are off, and get on the runway and set brakes again. Man, it has taken me literally over an hour to go through this checklist. Okay, so we're lined up, parking brake, toe brakes are in, parking brakes are set, master caution goes off, headset goes on, transponder go to out, to reporting, head and bug is set, and left side of throttle, click this guy, and I'm not seeing what happens, but we did push it. And autopilot and see it. Let's see, we want 26. So let's let's initially climb out to 6,000 at. Let's do that again. 6,000 and want a vertical climb out speed of, let's do 1,200. Um, Actually, I'm in a lighter plane, so let's make that 1,800. All right. And I can't tell whether that's set. I'm not sure that's going to work the way I'm anticipating it. Okay, in cruise. All right, so let's do it. Let's take off. Um, so want to get our, hold the brake, turn the brakes off, and our PM's up to about 1900. All right, and we begin our takeoff roll. Okay, torque can go up to between 70 and 90%. And that's that rudder trim. Okay, rotate at 90, and that rudder trim rotate now. Oh,
FSC flight not started.
so that rudder is that stuck to the on the right is I'm having to compensate manually with for it. Okay, gear up, tap the brakes, flaps up, autopilot can go on, and nav, and let's see nav. Okay, and see the autopilot is bringing that rudder back in line. I just don't know how to change it manually. I have to ask somebody how I do that because I don't see a button that does it. And I had never had it be that far, be out of range at all before. Okay, autopilot is on. Yaw damper needs to come on. It is. Landing light switch can go off. Passing above 1300, 1500, which looks like I'm leveled off at 1500. Um, Alt, move that up to 6,000 again. And vertical speed. Maybe I should do flight change. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm gonna climb out at 18 and make sure that my nav is back on. I guess I need to hit the direct and activate Liberty. Um, I don't see that. I don't see Liberty in the box. So let me hit flight plan. Um, and go up here to Liberty and then direct to and enter. All right. So that would turn us on course. I hope Liberty is where it's going. Um, and get rid of this. And yeah, so I am on course. All right. So I should be climbing up to 6,000. My final cruising altitude is 26,000. So let's go ahead and add another 20,000. Let's see. Thank God for warnings. And now my flaps are up, my gear is up. And look at my angle of attack. Golly. Um, why did my angle, and then I need to pull this back because my too much power. But why was my angle of attack so out of whack? Um, and let me try this flight level change. And now it's trying to capture the 6,000. Uh, Good thing I didn't have it set at 20,000 initially, otherwise I would have definitely have stalled. Um, all right, so I'm out of the class C. I'm out of the class Charlie, so I can go ahead and climb up to my original. Um, Go ahead and climb again. All right, so vertical. Let me try this flight director and flight level change. Um, I'm not ashamed to say you know, with some of these autopilots, I am not versed at using them. Y'all damper should be on it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go to vertical speed and then turn it down to go up, roll it down, and I'm rolling it gently. And I'm looking at this guy right here. So I'm doing a climb of 1100 and 1200, 13, and I'm okay with 14. Let's look at our angle of attack. So yeah, our angle of attack looks good. And from the outside, looks like I'm flying straight and narrow. Okay. So I am in a climb because I'm passing through 8,500. Okay, my inertia separator needs to come off. And on the Pilatus, which I fly a lot, it's on the overhead panel. But on this one, it's here. And I need to shoot for a climb speed of 124 knots. So that tells me that I can raise my nose. Because right now I'm climbing at 150. And everything is in the green. Let's see now, when I get to standard, I think I can hit one button and be at standard. So standby on, out, BFR, and actually I'm probably looking at the, probably want this one. Yeah, and then this is the button, standard barrel. Learning my way around the GPS for this aircraft. And let's take a peek out the window, see what it looks like out there. Well, I have to do it manually. And I should be flying eastward somewhere, I mean, not eastward, westward, somewhere around 270 degrees. So let me just kind of look and see um, what I've got on this guy. Okay, yeah, 280 is what I'm flying. I have to learn to look for stuff on the PDF, the primary on the PFD, the primary flight display. So, Dimitri, are you still with me, my friend? Okay, now I'm using ForeFlight. My first waypoint is Liberty, and since I'm going to Chattanooga, I am going to deviate from the checklist and fly as fast as I can. So I'm gonna push my torque up to to 95 and keep an eye on my NG and my ITT. Okay. The one thing I do like about this aircraft is I don't have to worry about my cabin pressure. The differential is is automatic. It automatically keep the cabin pressure um, at safe and as comfortable cabin pressures as it can without me having to worry about it. When I'm flying the Pilatus and I'm climbing like this, then I have to remember to constantly adjust for the cabin pressure. Um, Oxygen is at 1600 psi, 1602 to be exact. And altimeter, I can go ahead and change that to standard now. And change this one too. Uh, let's see if they got this S, I think is standard. Yep. All right. And um, uh, my annunciators are cast. I don't have any cast messages and no lights to be concerned about. So my I got 1,000 to go before I reach altitude, and I should start to level off. I'm glad it's capturing my altitude automatically. 20 is not my final altitude. 26 is my final. And I need to jump into the browser and see what's going on with ATC because I am doing a VATSIM flight. So VATSIM mic map. Yep, there I am, and that's not me. Where am I? I don't see myself on the map. Let's see. Maybe I'm not connected. Let me double check. See, I am connected. Let me reload the map. And I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Um, the VATSIM map. So, okay. I see two aircraft headed due east. And I got a 737, and so I'm the one in the front. Okay. And I should be crossing control control airspace somewhere around when I'm south of Greensboro. Okay. So I am finally in the air after all that checking and rechecking and de-checking and me checking. Your simulator is and explain is now running in real time. Automatic disconnect has been canceled. I've got the i7 7600K processor on this aircraft, and it appears that it eats up my frame rates, um, especially with this particular aircraft. This the TMB uses a lot of frames, and right now I'm getting 21 frames a minute, which is not a whole lot. Let's see. And I did not realize I had my 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 webcam, my camera off. Okay, if this is not corrected, then it's funny when I move in close. Now I'm getting 23 frames, but then when I back out like this, my frame rate drops and I start getting messages. Um, so I am gonna move in to hold those frames, but if I lose VATSIM, then it's no big deal. Um, but I think the bottleneck is the CPU and not the GPU. Um, just take a look at what my GPU is doing, because right now my CPU is at 94% and my GPU is at 38%. So so yeah, I definitely am putting a lot of work on the CPU. Um, so that might mean that I may have a CPU upgrade in my immediate future. And with any luck, the sim won't crash. But honestly, I can make no guarantees. If I do go away unexpectedly, then it's because of a technical issue. So we're 223 knots over the ground. My ground speed on the MDF is 223. My indicated is 197. All right, so let's go ahead and climb up to our cruising altitude of 26, and climb up in the wrong way here. Climb up at 7, well, at 700. And that's what the world looked like at 20,000 feet. Definitely see a ways in front of you. Here I am by Burlington, and I can see the tops of the mountains, the mountain range. Okay, So for the TMB in fourth flight, I didn't enter enough information to calculate my fuel burn, my predicted fuel burn. Let's see. Ah, come on. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. All right. Aircraft type, performance data. Maybe I can enter that now while I'm in cruise. And so I'm going to turn the webcam off for a minute. Default cruise. Okay. And then let's go here. Not there. And what color is my aircraft? I'm in the process of filling out some data. It's red over white. Okay. Home airport. I'll leave that. Well, KRDU. I should leave that blank. I think I will. All right. Best glide is 120 knots. I need to keep that in mind. And maximum ceiling is 31. Okay. In fact, I need to verify that this information is correct. And I got some clouds coming up. Fortunately, I'm higher than the clouds, so there should be no factor. Um, Besides, I am IRF at the moment. Okay. Second. Close sky vector down. I'll leave it up. All right. So where are we? We wanted to look at some information. Um, what is this? All right, 1,000 to go, and we'll be at cruise at our final cruise destination. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit more torque here. And I'm not liking the way NG is looking at that torque, so we're at an altitude where we're not limited by torque anymore. We're limited by our NG, or exhaust gas. Okay, less than 100 to go to cruise. But you know, we were doing better at 20,000. Maybe once we level off, then we'll pick up some speed because we had 223 over the ground at 20, and now we're at 26,000, and I'm seeing 203, but it's climbing, so let's give it a chance to climb. See what happens here. And I am disconnected from Pilot Edge, not Pilot Edge, VATSIM, due to a frame rate issue. I am using FS Global Real Weather, so the weather is not staying constant. It's changing. My weather injection engine is changing the weather. I'm not 100% sure how different the the real well the real well uh, real world, what a tongue twister, real world weather engine is from the X-Plane real world weather engine. Um, I got a paid version of the real world weather engine, and I really am not 100% sure what makes them so different. I'm also using Sky Vector, not Sky Vector, Sky Max to generate my clouds as my weather rendering engine to generate the weather outside, and I'm am also not that sure. Um, well, I do know the difference between the clouds with the SkyMax program versus X-Plane because I can toggle the clouds off and on, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm scared that I might bring the sim down. Okay, so I got the Pilatus not the Pilatus, the TBM 900, and we're in cruise at 26,000 feet, headed to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Um, the first thing that I noticed when I looked at the aircraft in flight, in straight and level flight, is that wow, I got a big nose down attitude. But this aircraft does fly with a nose down attitude when it's straight and level. So that's actually modeled correctly. And no, I'm not a real world pilot. That's just a tidbit of information that I picked up that I know to be true. Okay, we got some turbulence up here, just a little. And I'm 220 over the ground versus 223 when I was at 20,000 feet. So I did lose 3 knots per hour. And the weather, you know, let's see, even at 20, I probably would have been over the clouds. I'm asking myself if I had stayed at if I had stayed at 20, would I be in the clouds? And I think I'm more than 6,000 feet above those clouds. Okay, so and now since I am no longer connected to VATSIM and doesn't look like I am gonna be able to stay connected to VATSIM in this particular aircraft because it does chew up frames, then I think I am going to turn off XPilot. I wonder if I can turn it off here. Nope. Let's see. And show aircraft labels. Yeah, I don't see a way to turn it off here. So I am going to turn it off from here. And now I can turn on TCAS for Traffic Global. Okay, so with TCAS on, and let me turn on my labels for Traffic Global. And let's compare TCAS to what the aircraft sees. It may not really see that much. Okay, now I'm should be getting to Barrett's Mountain. So I should make another turn. Where's my flight plan? I'm 4 nautical miles from Barrett's Mountain. and my range is set to 8 nautical miles. So let's change that guy to 30. Yeah, 20 nautical mile look ahead is okay. Or actually 10 nautical 10 10 in front and 10 below. I mean 10 in front and 10 behind is technically what I think I'm getting. And take boom, 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 boom. All right, so I'm in that turn, and if I was still connected to Pilot Edge, I'd be able to see that turn on the Pilot Edge map. But since I'm not connected, I am going to remove that map from my browser list. And my next waypoint is Sugar Mountain, which is just outside of Asheville. The leg that I'm on now is, um, give me a give me a distance. Let's see. World low. The leg that I'm on now is 20. I think it's 57 nautical miles. That's what I'm showing from point to point. Of that, I still got 53 nautical miles to go. Okay, so and looks like I crashed. Not the aircraft, but X-plane. Well, it was good while it lasted. So I am going to try to restart X-plane, and maybe, just maybe, it will pick up from where it left off. The problem is it's going to spawn in with the engines off at 26,000 feet and trying to start the engine. in air on a hot engine can be challenging. Okay, so turn the webcam back on for what it's worth.
Updates finished.
I do use the Skunk Crafts updater to update some of my stuff. New flight, start flight, and let's just see what happens. And from the Augusta, Georgia to the Bahamas, and I think he's going to be flying the TBM also. I think he's going to be flying the 850 is a very cool aircraft. He has given me a heads up on that. He says that the flight, the time en route is going to be about 5 hours. Given for me with a 2 hour time en route flight plus the time that it takes to pre-flight, then I find that my pre-flight, depending on the aircraft, can be no, I'm sorry, not my pre-flight, my checklist, going through my checklist and getting airborne, getting wheels up, can be anywhere from about 15 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. Where today, getting wheels up in the TBM, the one that we've been flying today, has been about an hour and 15 minutes. So either I would get faster pre-flighting and or become less thorough and well, some of the stuff that the aircraft check off automatically, I was actually going through and double checking, but I could have just as easily uh, decided to not pay that stuff any attention and just move on to the next unchecked item, which would speed things up a little bit. So I'm in the TBM Red Devil, the TBM 900 Red Devil, um, which you know is generally speaking, I'm a real conservative person. Um, I don't want a car that's red because I don't want to stand out. Um, give me a gray or a white. Don't want a black one because it shows dirt too easily. Um, but give me something that's neutral. I'm mute tones, and I'm happy. But for a $5 to $8 million aircraft, give me something to stand out. Let me go. Hey, y'all, look at me. So I'm still loading up, and whether or not it's actually going to complete the load without crashing remains to be seen. but it should be spawning in at any moment now. And that's what I'm waiting. I'm trying not to touch anything, hoping that by not touching anything, it will help me be a little bit more successful. Now I do want to start where from from some earlier point, which is why I'm clicking yes. And and I should be I should have to restart the engines, and I may even have to re-enter the flight plan. But first order of business is to restart the engines. Now, at over 20,000 feet, I got plenty of time to restart the engine. In fact, I just looked to see that my best glide for this aircraft is 120 knots. So, first thing I want to do is set the glide to 120 knots and then restart the engine. And I can actually, well, okay.
FST flight not started.
All right, go to full screen. And let's see. Okay, my engines are still running. I think I was at windmilling. It's hard to tell. Um, all right, so autopilot goes on. Out hold is on, and it's capturing 26. And looks like the engines are running because I got prop speed of 2,000, which is the maximum prop speed on this aircraft. So now we just need to turn on our nav and our direct to. That's I believe we may have lost. Let's see if that. Okay, I think that did reconnect. Yeah, that reconnected. Okay. ACARS. Okay. Now let's see if we still got our flight plan in, and we lost our flight plan. Okay. So with that said, we need to re-enter it. Okay. So that means we need to get rid of this one, which sucks. Delete. Enter. All right. And our destination. Back. Clear. Clear. Flight plan. Flight plan. Enter. Destination was Raleigh-Durham. So that's Kilo. Kilo RDU. Enter. Then we went to Liberty. Enter. Enter. Then we went to Barrett's Mountain. I think that was BZM. Yep. Enter. Now we're on our leg to Sugarloaf, to Sugar Loaf Mountain. Enter. And now we want to go up and this is where we are en route to. So we en route to Sugarloaf. So now we can turn on course. And then our final waypoint is going to be, let's see, enter. Flight plan, enter. There we go. Then it's going to be Kilo Chattanooga. First three letters of the word chatter. And enter. Okay. So that's our flight plan. So we back in business with that plan. And let's get rid of that. All right. Torque is at 86. Prop speed look good. NG is at 99%. Altitude is holding at 26,000. And probably ought to get a barometer reading out of Asheville. Should be able to get that out of Sky Vector. That's Chattanooga, went too far. So we're somewhere up in here. And the ADAS for Asheville is 120.2, I think I saw. ADAS. Asheville, ADAS, 120.2, yeah. Okay, so let's bring this down, make it 0.2. Let's go ahead and make this 120. All right, then 0.2. Flip that in the box. And let's see if we're in range.
Asheville Regional Information Call. 2100 Zulu weather. Wind 100 at 6. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 33,500 broken. Temperature 13. Dew point -5. Altimeter 3012. Arriving runway 17. Departing runway 17.
You know, as I was listening to the ADAS for Asheville, thinking that I should adjust my altimeter, it dawns on me that I am in Class A airspace, and we're using the standard altimeter of 2992 or 1013 if I'm measuring, um, let's see, 2992 inches of mercury and 1013 um, H something. I can't remember what that measures, but it's pretty cool how I can see the crab angle. Now I've got a headwind. I got a 62 knot headwind and a 52 knot crosswind. Um, so that's actually slowing me down. But but think that with you would think with that headwind, I would be, or maybe my crosswind is somewhat of a tailwind component because I'm still flying faster than my indicated. Um, and I am too lazy to calculate my true airspeed, which I would need to know exactly what my wind component is to calculate that anyway. And I don't know if that's entirely right. Plus, I don't have. I'm just making up all kinds of excuses. I don't have my E6B handy. I do have the manual E6B. So let me back out here. And so I got a 15-mile look ahead now. And I see the mountains on my synthetic vision display. And this guy here I can get rid of. So crashing cost me, I'm not sure how much time it cost me, but I am getting a little better frame rate because before when I backed out, let's see, let me get back to about where I was before. When I backed out to about right here, I was getting 19 to 20, and I was dipping below 20 enough to lose VATSIM. And still got my map up. That happens sometimes. Okay. And chat. Okay. Hmm. I tell you what's funny, or maybe it's not funny, but I've got a, the wrong chat on. Um, hey, buddy, my dog. Yeah. Okay. All right. Go away. So I am on my last leg, and I can start getting down. I've got 38 minutes before I reach my destination. Why this has the wrong chat? I don't know what's going on with Twitch, but I can see the chat. I can see the stream that I'm in, but the chat is inconsistent with with the stream. Hmm. Well, okay. So let's descend down to let's descend to 8,000. All right, let's initially descend to 14,000. Descend and maintain 14,000. And and as long as long as I can descend and not overspeed, then I think I will let the aircraft speed up on its descents. Cut some time. You hungry? You hungry? That what you want? You want some food? I think my dog's saying he wants some food. So, guys, I will be right back. And I thought I disconnected Pilot Edge. I mean X Pilot. But I see the message. Oh yeah, I did, but the aircraft reloaded. Okay, so that should stop the TCAS from being blocked. Okay, and all right, Tico, I'm gonna give you some food. 85 119.85 is the ATIS for Chattanooga. Flip that in. Too far out right now. And guys, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Right back. Right back. told you I'd be back, and I am. So, as you can see, I'm a man of my word. Okay. To adjust this upward a little bit. All right. All righty. So I'm coming down below 2. I'm only 28 minutes out, but I need 1,000 feet per minute descent. Because 800 just ain't cutting the cake. Um, let's pull that torque back a little bit and go ahead and change our descent rate to 1,200. We don't have a seatbelt signal. I'm getting 22 frames a minute. Ain't many. Let's look out and see if we can't see the terrain. Blue Ridge Mountains. All right. So now we still 27 minutes from our location. So let's see what procedures we got for landing. Airport KCHA. Enter. Okay, so hey, this is helpful. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in our frequencies. We've already put in our ADAS frequency. And we're gonna not do approach. Um, just go straight to ADAS. I mean, straight to tower and get our landing clearance. All right, so tower frequency is 118.3, and it probably depends on from which direction we enter. Info. Yeah, 118.3 is all we're gonna use. Just looked it up on the chart. And 119.85. All right. Getting kind of close to be so high. Still at 17. And go down to standard. Didn't mean to align it, but I was trying to turn that guy back on. And charts. See what the ADAS is at this location. METAR winds 160 at 3, at 03, at 3 knots. Get down, get down. 11 altimeter is 3019. Okay, I'm still 22 minutes out at 1500. The highest mountains should be around 5500. So let's descend to 8000. $20 minutes out. And get this guy to start back. It's Thursday. Wednesday. I don't know how to get it to start back up. Align and then start. I need to bring my torque back a little bit. And I don't know how to reset this. Okay, there you go. 3019. All right, and then let's look for a procedure. Let's see, I want to get ADAS, so I'm gonna turn on COM2. I do have ADAS, and it's just not telling me. See, 160 at 3. so it's not telling me what the preferred runway is, but I would think it would be 2. Wait a minute, shoot. Winds is 160 at 3, yeah, okay. So it's probably going to be 15 and 20. Since I got a light aircraft, then I'd do better with 15. Um, but it's at 3, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to select an approach. Uh, Procedure, select an approach. And 20 is what I'm going to take. It's a bigger and longer um, a bigger and longer runway. Okay. And guess I guess I fly. So I fly the whole approach. Enter. Minimums off. Load. And yeah, she just loaded. And ETA is 18 minutes. 3017. I got that. I got 19 in the box. And I need to look at the see if I can't find the ILS approach 420 and see if I can't find it on what do you call this program that I'm using for flight. And I'm flying vectors, but I'm gonna change it to flight to shoot the entire. I think I've got that. I think I might have the entire approach. Uh, yeah. Okay, so I'm doing low fuel. I'm at 8,000 and leveling off. And I am going to go here and activate the entire approach. Menu, activate leg. And localizer frequency is 109.5. Double check that, make sure that's correct. And I want to be at 3600. 3600. So this is 3000. Well, I can live with 3000, but it's got a vertical nav too, so that's good. So once I can, once I'm on range 8, and where is my aircraft? I keep trying to move this like it's a touch screen. I desperately want it to be one. So I'm out 100 miles. 100 and at this point I really should be seeing 100. I really should be seeing my aircraft on the map. So I got, okay, TCAS. There's an aircraft there. I do believe that's what that is. Okay, let's hit approach. Flight level change. I'm not sure what this means, but I'm trying to approach off for right now. Yeah. And yeah, I am flying in the right direction. Cool. So I should fly over the town of Cleveland. I've driven through Cleveland. Hey, Nutty Rabbit. How are you, my friend? I am.
Level field information call.
Okay, I just got in the
2200
range to
smooth
get
weather.
ATIS
Wind 170 at
Golf.
5. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 8500 scattered. 10,500 few. 18,000 broken. Temperature 12. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3018. Arriving runways 2015. Departing runways 2015.
Okay, so
Advise on
I'm
initial
good,
contact you
thanks.
have golf.
So I've got golf. I'm setting up to shoot an IL and ILS for runway 20. Glad you stopped by.
Level field information
Let
call.
me turn the
2200
comm
smooth weather.
off now. And I'm not going to worry about approach, but I am going to put the tower frequency in for Chattanooga, which tower is 118.3. And I've got that already dialed in, so I am good. I am 12 minutes from landing, so I am going to go ahead and turn my landing light on and pull up my pre-landing checklist. I've already done the descent, so without the checklist, perspiration. Fuel is low. Altimeter is set. Both of them. Annunciator. Okay, so it's not raining, so I don't need initial steps. And if required snow, open the ice system. Okay, I'm good there. Radar mode, standby. Thank you. It's the TBM. It's the TBM 900 um, by Hotstart. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's a single prop aircraft. In fact, I've been told that it's the fastest single prop aircraft for civil aviation available. Um, okay, radar mode and throttle adjust. Throttle looks good. I'm just hoping I got enough fuel to make it in. I've got 17 gallons. And so I need to slow to 178 before I deploy flaps. Okay. And I decided to shoot the ILS approach and fly the whole ILS route. But given my fuel status, I should have flew for vectors and chose a more direct flight inward. Um, I think this is me. Um, this is my first time flying an ILS with this particular aircraft. In fact, I usually do everything VFR. In fact, because I only have 16 gallons of fuel left, I might ought to just fly direct, just cancel the IF hour, and fly directly in. I'm not really sure that's going to make any difference. And I honestly don't think I got enough fuel to make it all the way. Um, I do have Cleveland coming up off my nose, so I think I'm gonna have to divert. Yep, I am gonna divert to Cleveland. Um, so Cleveland is non-towered, and they are do this every time. 122.7. So just need to change the big one to 2, flip it in, and now I should be able to talk to Cleveland traffic. Cleveland traffic, TBM 4945. Foxtrot is about eight about 8 miles to the east inbound for full stop landing. Standby, Cleveland traffic. Cleveland traffic 4945 Foxtrot. We'll be looking for runway 21 full stop, and we're gonna make a downwind for 21 454 5 Foxtrot. I'm very new to explain, and I'm down. Okay, cool, cool. Um, the the first thing I can tell you is I would not try to emulate what you see some of the complex stuff that you see people do. Um, you start well, from my experience, what I did was I started with the Cessna 172, and I flew the devil out of it. A lot of fun. Let me go to take the autopilot off, and it's my plane, and bleed off some speed and start a descent here. And my nose should start to come down. Um, you know, it de- it depends on whether or not you are getting explained because you're interested in becoming a pilot, or whether or not you are getting it because you just enjoy aviation and you want to have fun with it. Um, at I started off as a student pilot, um, but because it's so expensive, then I decided, well, I'm just going to have fun with it. But if you intend to become a pilot, or if you don't know, but you think you might want to become a pilot, then you could use X-Plane to learn how to do stuff right in the first place that might help you with uh, with becoming a pilot. I'm looking for Cleveland Airport, and these airports can be real hard to see. Um, I should be right over top of it. Ah, I see a beacon. There it is. Okay, so I want to pull my power back, and I'm actually diving. So, but either either way, oh shoot, didn't mean to put flaps on. Either way, once you download it and start playing around with it, then I guarantee you'll have a ton of fun. Whether you are getting it to learn to fly in real life or getting it to just have fun. But let's see, I think my gear is down. My flaps are set to take off. Got three in the green, um, and I'm getting slow. Engine, yeah, I'm giving it too much throttle, and now I need to do a U-turn back to the runway I want to land on. So, with all that said, yeah, just download X-Plane and start off what the in the aircraft that's generally known as the trainer, which is the Cessna 172 Skyhawk, um, and just play around with that, have fun, and over time, if you just doing it for fun, over time, all the all these complex aircraft that you see other people flying, you will come to know and love and fly yourself. I'm looking for the airport to come into view. There it is. And I'm way too high. So this is going to be a crappy landing because I'm at 2,100 feet and the airport I might be able to pull this off. Okay, and go flaps 4. And and I just need to concentrate just a sec. Sync rate. Okay. And get in here. Get in here and oh, got too slow. Terrible landing. Terrible. Um, that was a landing. I landed too short. Yeah, I um, I was not stable. Let's see, and stop here. I was not stable on that landing, and I made some bad decisions. Come on, come on. But you know what? I couldn't do a go around because I just ran out of gas. So either way, um, yeah. But I am gonna pretend that I survived that. Who I may have torn up the plane. Probably the way I hit. Um, I hit just short of the runway, and I hit real hard, so I probably would have collapsed my landing gear. Um, but I don't think it. But I think I may have survived it. So yeah, that was a tough, unskilled landing. But in my defense, I'm just learning to fly this particular aircraft. I generally fly a couple different aircraft, and this one is one that has been in my hangar for about 6 months. I bought it about 6 months ago, and I rarely fly it, um, so I thought I'd start racking up some hours in it. Um, and I was trying to turn around on the runway and go back into there, but I ran out of gas. So even though I did a bomb landing, it was smart to divert to this airport rather than try to push it to Chattanooga on the gas that I had, because there's no way I would have made it. So anyway, let's see what damage I did do to the aircraft. One thing about this aircraft is it does re- record damage. Okay, so looks like I damaged the combustor. It's $50,000 to repair or $145,000 to replace it. Okay, so I just spent $145,000 because I put a new one in. Landing gear. I know I tore up my landing gear. Ah, actually, it says my landing gear in pretty good shape. All right, electronics. Ah, wait a minute. It says cannot lower aircraft because gear is not down. So that tells me something else going on with my landing gear. Close. Close. Oh man, what happened here? Okay, I need to lower my landing gear. So for some reason it put me on jacks. All right, now, all right, so gear, gear. All right, so with that said, now go back into the maintenance manager, look at landing gear, access. I don't see anything wrong with it, so I guess it can close it. Electronics and crossbar is not down. Avionics, it's not going to let me look at that. Lights, it's not going to let me look at that. Airframe. So the only thing I did was damage the combustors. Looks like looked like for as hard as that landing was, I only had to spend $145,000. No, I actually made sure that they were. At least I thought I made sure that they were on um, in the payload manager. Oh man, look at that! I see that maybe I did take off with my fuel caps off. Um, let's go ahead and add some fuel. Um, but I started with 180 gallons from Raleigh-Durham, and um, and I didn't. I did have a full payload, including 85 pounds of cargo, which explains why I landed short. Uh, yeah, yeah, with my coming in too slow. Um, yeah. So, but does this okay? So these these little red dots on. Are you familiar with the TMB Tyler? I guess you are TMB Tyler. Um, so these little red dots. Does that mean my fuel caps are off or on? Hey, Tamara, glad you stopped by. So I was trying to make it to Charlotte, but not Charlotte, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I ran out of gas before I could get there, so I had to divert to a different airport. And I'm trying to determine whether or not I lost gas by not putting my fuel caps back on. Maybe I can look at it from the outside, and they look pretty good. Yep, look pretty good. So I just put gas back in, and of course, the good thing is that the trucks can bring you gas. All right, TBM Tyler, you gotta be the TBM guy. All right, so look at them on the actual plane before starting up. If they are not on, they'll be sitting on the top of the wing when you land it is when I notice them on top. Yeah, I've seen you in I know you are because I've seen you in other um streams talking to people. So, um want to trade jobs? I don't think so because uh, given the way I landed this thing just now, then I don't think I have to go to work the next day. Let's see. So let's do. So I look at it from the outside, and they look like they're on now. In fact, let me pop them off and see if I see a difference. Yeah, yeah. So now they're off, and now they're on. Yep, yep. So I'm pretty sure that I put them back on before I took off, but maybe in the process of taking off chucks or something, maybe I opened them up or something. Um, but I am crazy about the TBM. Well, I'll be there when you live stream always, cause I really like you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. um, when I do live stream, of course, I don't tend to live stream on a schedule. I just live stream whenever time and schedule permits. Um, but let's see if we can't get this guy restarted and finish our flight to Chattanooga. All right. So let's get back in the cockpit and let's turn our yaw damper off since that's a message that I got. It's not advisable to have the air conditioners on. So let's turn those along with the bleeds off and let's pop up our checklist and let's open not that checklist. Let's open pre-start here. All right, so this engine is hot, which it is. Well, actually, my ITT pressure temperature is already down. Um, I'm not gonna talk to ATC, and let's turn everything off. And I should have pulled that crash bar down as soon as the engine stopped. Okay, ignition should always stay on auto. All right, and taxi. That should go off. Okay, everything is off. And let me just go back one. Crash bar, lever comes up. Source, go to battery because I don't have a GPU out here. Um, Generator switch can come on. Um, Not worried about the lights right now. Check cast messages and hit that soft key. Okay, don't have any cast messages yet. There they go. Fuel pressure or pressure stall. Yeah, these guys can go off. And My master and caution and warning lights can go off. Okay. Um, and cast messages are where they need to be. Auxiliary fuel pump should be off though. So let's turn this guy off. And battery should be at 20. At 20, the system still going through test 24.9. I'm good there. Um, and um, check down lights and push. Yeah, it's just want me to do some additional checks here. Check down. Okay, and push. So I'm checking these. Um, okay, and then it wants me to check the de-icing lights. Everything looks like it's working the way it should. Um, and now my engine start. Okay, so I go to turn my strobes on. Strobes come on. Check. Ignition switch go on. And starter, say, uh, auxiliary, this guy, switch goes on. I thought I'd turn that off. Okay. Um, and ITT must be less than 150. It is. Start timer on the primary flight display. I generally don't do that, but I should. Back timer. Let's see now. How do you start this thing up? Timer reference. I think the start button is on this guy. Timer. All right. All right. So it started and hit this guy for 2 seconds. And NG is above 13%, so I can go to low idle and wait till it become over 15%. Then I can go to flight idle on the NG. I say percent. That is a percent sign, so I'm good saying percent. And all that needs to happen within 20 seconds. I'm at 45 seconds, so I'm not sure. I might have come on. Ah, Run up my engine. You are. Let's see. Maybe I came off it fast enough to get a good start, but you just saw the engine flame up. That's called a hot start. Um, and I think I may have recovered from that in time. My ITT did come down, but kind of remind me of the PT6 when they used to start those guys doing WW2, and they would shoot all kinds of flames out on startup, like they were about to blow up. Anyway, I was able to pull it down before it actually did any damage. I hope if it did do any damage, then I will see it here, but I won't see it until I can shut the engine down. So I am not going to worry about it right now. But in real life, I wouldn't have been able to run it up to the setting that I run it up to get that hot start Okay, everything looks good. So all my things, so I'm just gonna go here. I can stop the timer now, and I've got a good start. Okay, so I am gonna deviate from the chat list and go ahead and the battery, turn the main generator on. Go ahead and turn the fuel pump to auto, and the fuel selection to auto. AP trims can come on. Um, Initial separator can come on, especially in grass. Um, let's get rid of that guy so I can get it on. And this is the ABI. Turn that off. Okay. Air conditioning can come back on. I still got a aircraft full of passengers. Temp selector. Just move that just so to check off. Radar soft key. That's fine. Electrical. And fuel. I can check here. That looks fine for electrical, and fuel looks fine. All right, and I'm ready to taxi. Okay, so I came in on 2-1, so I can align the what do you call this thing, the heading bug to 2-1. Okay, and and I'm on the frequency for this airport, which is Cleveland, and altimeter for Cleveland is, what is the AWAS frequency? Uh, let's see if we can find the AWAS frequency. It's 120.475. That's a lot of stuff that you have to do to even halfway act as if you're doing stuff according to the book. 475. So just by simming and trying to do stuff by the checklist, I can really get a real good appreciation of what real world pilots go through. People like TBM
Cleveland Raleigh
Tyler.
Airport weather. Wind 160 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 8,500 scattered, 10,500 few, 18,000 broken. Temperature 11. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3018.
3018, and 2-1 is still my best runway. 3018. Yep, that's in the box. 19 here, 18. Okay. Those are set. That one is set. Transponder. Um, I'm gonna set this to altitude reporting and change it to to VFR. Shoot, where am I looking for? Synthetic vision back. This guy. So it's on. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to altitude reporting, even though it's telling me to just set it on standby right now. That way, every time I get the transponder, I can go and just go past it and then set it to VFR. Um, and Flaps, um, request taxi. Okay, get in the pilot seat, and Cleveland traffic, TBM 494 Foxtrot is taxiing from the grass to the taxiway um, to runway 21 Cleveland traffic. Okay. And let's put on some taxi lights. And let's turn the lights on the display up. Okay. Get back in the seat. And okay. Taxi lights, nav lights can come on. Transponder is already on altitude reporting. That didn't clear, but that's okay. I made it across anyway. Taxi range. So I need to put the throttle in taxi range so I don't have to ride the brakes, because I will burn up the brakes in this aircraft. Okay. Um, and and I've already used the toe brakes. So go here and run up flight idle, flight idle. Okay, flight idle, and I'm looking in my lower right hand corner. And let me step back a little bit and feather this guy. And actually, you do it twice. I'm just going to do it once. P-top heater can come on. Get in taxi range there. Heaters. All right, that's that heater and this heater. Okay. And I'm just going to do VFR to Chattanooga. Um, okay, I've done some of this already. Tax throttle up to 1100 for this run up. Come on. I mean, okay. Set brakes. I have to mash the toe brakes to set the brakes on this thing. You can't just set it with the V key. All right. And cast messages should be as expected. I got some on that are unexpected, like the ignition. So ignition is in the wrong. That needs to go to auto. Um, and let's kill this warning buzzer. And there we go. All right. And main generator is not in the right position. All right, let's see what we got now. And we good. Had the generator on standby. Okay, cast messages are as expected. And the ice, I'm not worried about icing. I'm not I'm gonna bypass the generator test, and I'm bypassing the flaps test. Engine parameters, everything's in the green. Oil pressures, okay. All breakers are in. Controls are free and clear. Okay. And flaps go to takeoff. Get back in the pilot seat. Confirm flaps to takeoff, and they're not. In fact, Tyler TBM, if you, oh shoot, wrong button. Tyler TBM, if you are still on the channel, which I doubt you are, then I do have a question. And that question pertains to this rudder here. This guy here is is all the way to the right, and I don't know how to change the trim on it. I really don't. Um, and so, if any of you guys see Tyler TBM in the next few minutes on any other streams, tell them that Virtual GA do have a question for him. Okay. Landing light switch goes on. All right. And de-icing not an issue. The aileron trim is set. All trims, let's see, takeoff elevator trim needs to be set. Elevator trim is set. Rudder trim is not set, but that's the one I don't know how to set. Um, if any of you guys are with me and you see this rudder trim right here, I need to get this, cause this to come over to the green, and don't know how to do that. Um, and I don't see another button that will allow me to adjust that trim. Just don't see it. Okay. So when I take off, that's going to make my takeoff really funky. Okay. Park and brake off. And let's go here. And let's go ahead and take off. Yeah, let's go ahead and take off. Transponder's okay. Head and butt's aligned. And I should have to press this to go button in to be able to push the throttle forward, but I don't normally have to do that in real on this sim. I almost said in real life. All right, so and I'm having to adjust for that rudder with the foot rudders, and that's making it tough on a rotated 90. Giving it too much power. Okay, rotate. And
FSE flight not started.
gear up. Tap the brakes. Flaps up. Okay. And autopilot's coming on. That brings on my yaw damper, which is good. All right. And so the autopilot turned my, actually got my rudder where it needs to be, and the airport that's dead ahead is where I want to go. So I am gonna hand fly it, and since I'm hand flying it, let me go ahead and turn the yoke on and okay, Chattanooga, and 2500 is probably good altitude. And I want to fly straight in and switch to Chattanooga. Chattanooga, shucks. Chattanooga Tower. Okay, I'm not going to do an approach call. And I'm about 12 miles to the northeast. Chattanooga Tower, not Pilatus, TMB 4945 Foxtrot is 12 miles to the northeast, inbound for a stop. And make straight in for runway 20, TMB 4945 Foxtrot. Okay, so they told me that I could make straight in, which pretty much know what they mean. And let's see, now I lost the airport. Oh, you know what? I think I was looking at the wrong airport there. Uh, the airport that I want is not that one, but this one way over there. And he already told me to make straight in, so I'm gonna make my base way out here so I can line up for a straight in. Okay, so and I guess what I want to do is turn just before I get to that water, turn to the left, and that should get me pretty much lined up straight in. And I'm at 2500, which is where I want to be right now. And let's see if I can't do a stable approach this time. All right, so I am just about at the water. All right, landing lights are still on. I didn't bother to shut them off because I knew this was a super short flight. And turn to a heading a 20, and and with any luck, I would be lined up. Not quite, didn't quite get close enough, so let's get over the water this time. Of course, if I would wear my track IR, that would help me be able to visually see these references rather than having to try and judge them. All right, and left rudder for this left turn, just a touch of it, and power back, and stop ascending, stop climbing, but I don't want to drop like a rock either. All right, so there's my straight in. All right, landing gear. And I'm high. Well, I don't know the elevation of the airport, so it may not be high at all. I think this airport is at 800 feet. And okay, and I'm on that final. Okay, a little bit fast. Well, I guess I'm right where I should be. And I don't see any pappies to help me stay. Can I redeem myself after such a lousy landing a few minutes ago? That remains to be seen, huh? Find that middle line. And I got a good landing. Now, why am I not going back into to me long enough to get back into reverse range? All right, I'm in taxi range. I am clear of the runway. Whoa, come on, airplane. Y'all damper needs to come off. And oof, Chattanooga Tower TBM 4945 Foxtrot is clear the runway. Request taxi to parking. Clean the aircraft up. And taxi light come on. Strobe lights can go off. And taxi to parking 454 945 Foxtrot. And I don't know where parking is at. So for all intents, we're just gonna park right over here across the tarmac, across the runway. I was listening to an article today, and they was saying that only the media use tarmac. The term tarmac is not really a term used in by aviators. Um, okay, so I am done with this stream. Oh, and there's a way to you have to hit the toe brakes to turn the brake on this thing. Okay, you know, I feel like I worked an 8 hour job, and I am trying to get over here where I can jump out of the aircraft because I want to get an outside view. Come on, see, shift 5. I can't get outside the aircraft. Wonder why. Might be because the cap's on. Nope. Can't look outside. Okay, anyway, let's do a shutdown here. Uh, X camera, X checklist, say open checklist, and next, 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 next. Before landing, next, after landing, throttle, okay, flaps up, done, flaps are up. Yep, cleaned it up, transponder goes to standby. And all switches come down. Let's start with the air conditioning, with the ECS switches. And initial set, stall, heat, no, those come down. Okay, that one comes down, that one goes down, down, and ignition, I can skip, crash bar comes down. Whoa, I don't want to turn the battery back on, leave the generator off. And lights go off, and there we go. Now flight idle, and then we can, wrong, turn this guy to low, and that can go off. Hit those. And cut the engine off and bring that crash bar down. And fuel tanks, turn those off. Come on. There we go. And can put this guy back. And oxygen. And then chocks are set. Park and brake. I'm not going to release it. Leave it set. And de-ice is fine. Empty aircraft. And okay.